G'day YouTube. Today I'm doing a part 2 of my 4K horror collection. It's probably only going to be one more part, but I like showing off my collection. So, yeah. Alright, let's get started. We've got Get Out, Jordan Peele, first movie, Jordan Peele's first movie. I did enjoy this thoroughly, hence why I still fucking have it. I don't think it's as fucking amazing as people say it is, but I don't know, maybe I'm just being a contrarian. But I do enjoy it, so let's Get Out. And then, of course, the classic Halloween 1978 4K edition, collector's edition, Scream Factory. I don't have to take it off the. I don't have to take the fucking slipcover out off. Yeah, what do I have to say about Halloween? Not really much. I mean, there's not really a lot to say about this movie. It's a classic. Not my favourite John Carpenter film. Probably one of my all-time favourite slashers. I mean, it has to be. But not my favourite John Carpenter by a mile. There's so much more John Carpenter that is more amazing, to me at least. Yeah, so that's Halloween. We got Halloween 20 years later. I guess this would be a hot take. I do enjoy this more than I enjoy Halloween 2018. I think its depiction of PTSD is different, but I think maybe a better depiction of PTSD. Josh Hartnett is obviously fucking amazing in this movie. LL Cool J is also amazing, which is weird to say. But yeah, a classic as well. Halloween 2018, the direct sequel to Halloween. So this is technically John Carpenter originally didn't believe that there was any more story to tell in the Halloween series. But he liked this script enough to actually be quite involved in the making of the movie, as well as I think he did the score as well. I don't know. Again, I swear I just forget stuff specifically for this, but yeah, I believe he did do the score as well. Just because I enjoy 20 years later more, I still do thoroughly enjoy 2018. Then we've got the underrated Halloween Kills. Yes. There's a lot of people that say this movie is horrible, but they don't understand the appeal of a truly just a gory, fun, stupid slasher flick. There is very little Laurie in this fucking movie. She is really only in... She's in the hospital. She's only in the hospital. I think it does work well as a sequel, in the sense that it works well in as a sequel to 2018, in the sense that really Michael isn't specifically going after Laurie in Halloween 2018. This isn't like the original series or even the remake series where he's like, or the first timeline, or the second timeline, or the third timeline, the remake timeline, where he's specifically going after his sister. No, he really only stumbles across Laurie, and so he's still going around killing people. He's been broken out of the burning house by the firefighters unknowingly, and he's just killing indiscriminately. So yeah, I guess it does kind of make sense that Laurie's not really in it a lot, but yeah. Halloween Kills. Halloween Ends. Another hot take. I do actually quite enjoy this movie. I understand that it's not really a great ending to the bloody series. Like, it's supposed to be an end to Michael and Laurie's story, but it's not really. Like, that fight happens in like the last 10 minutes of the movie, I guess, spoiler alert. And the whole Corey storyline really is stupid, but I do enjoy the movie. And I think, I honestly believe that as much as like Danny McBride and like say they wrote this specifically as a sequel to Halloween, I honestly think this is a Hellraiser sequel situation where it's just like some random script that's had Laurie and Michael slapped into it. So yeah, Halloween Ends. Again, I do thoroughly enjoy that. Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters with Jeremy Renner and Gemma Arterton and Peter Stormare. This movie is fucking stupid. Genuinely one of the stupidest movies I've ever watched. But so much fun. So much fun, but stupid. Basically, it's the story of Hansel and Gretel if after killing the witch, they became witch hunters. Yeah, so it's basically like badass Hansel and Gretel. It really is stupid, but it is fun. As I was saying, it's stupid fun. Next up, we've got Hereditary. What do I have to say about Hereditary? I don't like Ari Aster. He constantly shits on horror movies. I think he's one of those people who one of those, you know, uppity fucking film school people who think they're better than horror movies. But, you know, I still enjoyed this. Toni Collette is amazing. Obviously, Toni Collette's amazing. So's Gabriel Byrne. But, yeah. As much as he says it's a family drama, it's a fucking horror movie. Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. High Tension. One of my favorites of the new French Extremity movies. I do genuinely love this movie. I don't think it's that extreme. I get there's the bit with the head, but you really don't see anything. I think maybe the connotation of a serial killer doing that with a severed head and maybe the dead kid makes it like extreme, but it's not that disturbing or extreme really. It's, yeah. Alexandre Aja. Amazing. You have not seen it, pick it up, check it out. High Tension. One of my favorite werewolf films. One of my favorite Joe Dante movies. This technically, and I mean technically, is only beaten out as my favorite Joe Dante movie. Why? No, it's probably my third Joe Dante movie. Goes this, The Burbs. Tom Hanks is amazing in that movie. And Gremlins. That's a tie between Gremlins and Gremlins 2, but The Howling. What do you got to say about The Howling? Basically, this woman this news reporter. She's lured in by a serial killer. She wants to get the story, and as she's going to talk to this fucking serial killer, the police are also following her. Some shit happens. He gets shot, but she can't remember what exactly is going on, and she's quite traumatized. So she's taking time off from work specifically, and she gets into therapy with this doctor so she can recover her lost memories. And this psychiatrist, this doctor, points her towards this sort of commune that he runs, filled with people with mental illness who he's treating. It's a horror movie, so weird shit is happening at this commune. I think you can understand with what the name is, what's going on at the commune. But yeah, The Howling, classic. Again, third favourite. Probably in my top 10 werewolf movies, definitely. The Invisible Man with Elizabeth Moss, directed by Leigh Whannell. Again, I'll say it 100 times. Leigh Whannell was definitely the... I'd say it 1,000 times if I have to. Leigh Whannell was definitely the more talented of the two directors that came out of Saw. Yes, Death Sentence and Dead Silence and Malignant are pretty fucking good, but The Invisible Man, Upgrade, really? Malignant over Upgrade, really? But still, The Invisible Man, Elizabeth Moss is amazing as always. It, the 2017 adaptation of the book. Yeah, again, good. Bill Skarsgård is bloody amazing in that movie. The somewhat disappointing sequel, but it's worth pointing out that every part 2 of it that has come out has been pretty fucking disappointing, so... But, again, Bill Skarsgård is still amazing. Next up, we've got Longlegs. Micah Monroe and Nicolas Cage, directed by Osgood Perkins, the son of Anthony Perkins, aka Norman Bates. I did thoroughly enjoy this. I think it was a little overhyped, and there should have been more Nicolas Cage. As much as Nicolas Cage is hyped up in this movie, he's probably only really in probably 20 minutes of the movie. Micah Monroe is amazing as always, but there should have been more Nicolas Cage. There should have been more Longlegs, to me at least. But yeah, Longlegs, good shit. The Lost Boys, one of my first horror movies as a child. I do genuinely love this movie. Kiefer Sutherland, Jason Patric, Corey Feldman, Corey Haim. I believe Dee Wallace as well. Is Dee Wallace in this? Fuck me. No, Diane Wiest. Why did I think it was Dee Wallace? Maybe she's in a similar fucking movie. But yeah, The Lost Boys. I don't really need to say much about The Lost Boys. It's a classic. Maniac on 4K, the original. I love the original. I love the remake. Anything Maniac, I will scoop the fuck up. And this is an amazing release by Blue Underground for an amazing film. Joe Spinell is a talent that was lost too early, definitely. Talent who was lost too early in his career. Caroline Munro. Obviously, Caroline Munro is amazing. It's Caroline Munro. If you haven't seen it, which is a very big possibility because a lot of horror fans haven't seen Maniac. Maniac is basically a slasher come serial killer film following Frank Zito, a loner who lives in New York who moonlights as a serial killer. He he kills his victims and he scalps them. And he keeps the scalps and attaches them to mannequins around his apartment because he believes that the mannequins become the people that he's killed. Joe Spinell as Frank Zito, genuinely one of the most demented characters ever, in slasher films at least. And fucking the Maniac, classic. If you have not seen Maniac, the original or the remake, which is also bloody amazing, check that shit out. Yeah. Then next up, we've got Stephen King's The Mist on 4K, obviously. The Mist with directed by Frank Darabont and starring Thomas Jane and Marcia Gay Harden. I'm going to say it. I've said it probably 1,000 times. This movie is amazing. One of my favourite Stephen King adaptations. I'd say one of the more underrated Stephen King adaptations. Even though this movie is highly rated among horror fans, there's just a lot of people that just, don't know just how amazing this movie is. It's really the whole movie is Darabont's vision of what the movie was supposed to be, which is cool because it's very rare that a horror director gets to fully release the movie that he intended to release. There is another version of the movie on this, and it's black and white, and I guess that would be the director's cut, because he initially wanted to release this film in black and white, but the whole movie is basically just his vision, which is amazing. Thomas Jane is amazing in this movie. He's been in some fucking stinkers, but that is not one of them. Motel Hell. I've come around to this movie. It's basically like it's a horror comedy that's sort of like a rip-off of like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and a bunch of other movies. A spoof, if you will. And it's about Farmer Vincent and his sister who run this little Motel Hell. Obviously, they run this little motel where they kidnap the people who visit. And I don't want to ruin it for you, but it has something to do with Farmer Vincent's fritters. That's, well, if they're kidnapping people, Farmer Vincent's fritters, he kills the people who come to his motel, and turns them into fritters. But yeah, very fun movie. Next up, My Bloody Valentine. My God, a classic, a truly classic slasher film. George Mahalka, I believe his name is. Yeah, George Mahalka directed this movie. That theme song at the end for the movie, that theme song, The Ballad of Harry Warden, is amazing. It's one of the... It's a slasher film where you love every character. You get to know characters. You get to... I guess they essentially become friends. You essentially come to love the people that die. And I guess that's sad, but it's good. Classic, obviously. My Bloody Valentine. Check it out if you have not. Nope. Again, Jordan Peele, Daniel Kaluuya, Kiki Palmer, Stephen Yeun. Stephen Yeun's probably in like 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes of the movie. But it is amazing. Again, why did I keep it? Because it's amazing. I do genuinely love this movie. I probably put this over Get Out. Goes, nope, Get Out, and then Us. Us is the last. I keep Us because, obviously, it's also amazing. But it's just not as good as Nope or Get Out. But yeah, Nope. I don't want to say anything about the movie because it's very easy to spoil shit that goes on in that. Robert Eggers' Nosferatu remake. Again, Bill Skarsgård is amazing. After watching like reviews of The Idol, I didn't think Lily Rose Depp could really come back from that, but this was fucking breathtaking. I'm genuinely not usually a Robert Eggers guy. I know that's kind of sacrilege. But, I don't know, I couldn't get into The Witch. I haven't seen The Lighthouse. I had The Northman for like years and I never watched it. Not that I don't want to watch Robert Eggers' other movies, but I could never, as much as The Witch is a well-made film, I couldn't get into it. The Old English really took it out of me. But yeah. Yeah, Bill Skarsgård is amazing, obviously. Nicholas, everybody in this movie is amazing. Willem Dafoe is breathtaking. Just watch the movie if you have not. I saw this in the theatre, and for the first time, it was truly a packed theatre. I had to fight to get a seat. So, The Nun 2, this is complete trash, but it is fun, complete trash. Taissa Farmiga. Storm Reed. It's The Nun. Don't really need to say much about it. Another one that I thought got a little too much hate. Old by M. Night Shyamalan. I do genuinely enjoy this movie thoroughly. Basically, this family, they go on a trip, and island escape, and they're directed towards this secluded beach that's like private. When they get on the beach, they realize that they're slowly aging. And as they try and leave the beach, they realize that they can't leave the beach. So basically, it's just these people who are slowly aging, aging rapidly, trying to find a way off the beach while also surviving each other. Again, I had to say it. Amazing. I don't like The Sixth Sense. I know that's probably, like, insane to say. I didn't like The Sixth Sense. But I did like Old. What's that tell you about my film taste? And then finally, Dario Argento's Opera. Probably one of my favourite Argento films. Argento Giallos. Basically, it's about this I don't know what the hell you call it. She's an opera singer. She begins being stalked by a serial killer who makes her watch, ties her up and makes her watch as she kills the people that she loves, and also random people. So, yeah, Opera, again, amazing. It's Dario Argento. If it's pre-mid-90s and it's an Argento movie, it's a classic in basically every way. After that, it's like right into the side of a mountain. But I'd say he's made enough classics to say that he is a great director. So yeah. Anyway, that is part 2 done and dusted. Thank you for watching. If you did, like if you like. So yeah, bye.